making this announcement in compliance with the Open Public Meeting Act, being Chapter 231, Public Law 1975, laws of the state of New Jersey. The Planning Board Secretary has prepared a schedule of the meeting of the Planning Board for the Borough of Kenilworth for the year 2025 and has posted a true copy of this schedule on the bulletin board located at the front entrance of Borough Hall and has mailed true copies of this schedule to the local source, the Star Ledger, and is maintaining a copy of this schedule in the Borough Hall. Accordingly, the notice of requirements of the Open Public Meeting Act has been satisfied in regards to this meeting. Salute to the flag, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
How about a roll call? Sure. Roll call, please.
You want to do the oath of office?
Oh, yes, sir. I'm sorry. The oath of office for the planning board members, I'm going to turn the meeting over to
Mr. Rago.
Mr. Rago.
Thank you. We are swearing in 5 members tonight. Bob Grimaldi, Mike Scuderi, Larry Clementi, Nick Pantina, and Savino Scarice.
Well, Savino doesn't get sworn in, does he? He does?
Joe Colella.
Joe's not here.
Yeah, so, okay.
Am I mistaken, Lou, that the council president gets sworn in?
Yeah,
Okay.
he's a member of the planning board.
Then, good. Okay, good.
He's a member of the planning board. If you gentlemen could stand up, before you leave tonight, I have the oaths, just sign them, date.
Yeah.
Sign them, date them, and I will, and then Kathy will take care of what needs to be done. Just repeat after me. I, and then state your name.
I, Nicholas Pantina,
You solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and bear true faith and allegiance to the same
and bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
and to the governments established in the United States
the government established in the United States
and in this state
and in this state,
under the authority of the people.
under the authority of the people.
I do further solemnly swear
I do further solemnly swear
that I will faithfully,
that I will faithfully,
impartially, and justly perform the duties of planning board member
perform the duties of the planning board member
according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my ability.
so help me God.
So help me God.
Okay. Congratulations.
Congratulations,
Again, see Kathy after the meeting, sign him. I'll sign him, and we're off to the races.
It is official.
Okay.
Greg, at this point, could we have a roll call?
Yes, sir. No, you're going to do
No, I'm
it.
going to do. Mr. Paserno?
Here.
Mr. Scarice?
Here.
Mr. David?
Here.
Mr. Clementi? Here. Mr. Pantina?
Here.
Mr. Mazzio?
Here.
Mr. Ladowdy? Here. Mr. Scuderi?
Here.
Mr. DeLuca?
Here.
Mr. Grimaldi?
Here.
And Mr. Puglisi?
Okay, at this point, as your planning board chair of last year, I'm going to turn the meeting over to our vice chair, Mr. Greg David.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chairman. At this time, we have election of officers, and since the first officer to be elected is chairman, at this time, I will entertain a motion for our chairman for the upcoming year.
I'd like to nominate Mr. Paserno for
Okay, we have a motion made.
chairman of the board or the board.
All right, we have a motion for Mr. Paserno. I see a second. Mr. DeLuca. And
Mr. Volkel?
You can do.
we could just do all in favor, right?
Yeah, if this is-
All those in favor of Mr. Paserno, I should say are there any other motions to be made for chairman? Okay.
Aye. Aye.
All right, so all those in favor say aye. Aye. Is anyone opposed? All right, Mr. Paserno, congratulations.
Thank you again, Mr. David. I'm deeply humbled, and I promise to do my very, very best as your chairman, as I've done. I know I have made some very minor mistakes over the past, but I'm going to do everything I possibly can to make this a great 2025, and thank you for putting your trust in me one more time. I do appreciate it.
Thank you. And now I turn it over back to our new chairman for election of the vice chairman.
Okay, as your new chairman, is there a motion for a vice chair. Mr. Clementi.
I make a motion that Greg David be vice chairman for planning board 2025.
A motion has been made for Mr. Greg David to be our vice chair. All in favor by hands or aye?
We need a second.
Oh, we need a second, I'm sorry. Second by everybody in the room. We'll do that by Mr. DeLuca. I'm sorry?
Do you need a second? You gotta ask for other nominations, right? Or no?
Oh, is there any other nominations for vice chair? Seeing none. The second was made by Mr. DeLuca by ayes. All in favor? Aye. Okay. Congratulations, Mr. Chairman. Vice Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and I will just more or less repeat what you said, without actually repeating it. I appreciate everyone's confidence in me to serve as second in command.
Well, you know,
I look
Mr.
forward to
David, I
it.
have to say
Great.
that you're really never second in command. You are right there, right there.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Appreciate it.
So,
It's good,
yeah. However, okay, what do we have now? Our planning board attorney?
Yep, so next is resolutions, appointments of planning board professionals.
Secretary, Mr. Chairman.
Sorry?
Secretary's got to be,
Mr. David, would you cover that?
Oh, so we don't do that under the resolutions?
no, that's an elected position.
Ah, okay. All right, so
It's an
then,
officer of the board.
gotcha. We have to make sure that we spell that out in the agenda in the future.
So I have a resolution for the, is that also?
That's for the recording secretary, is that?
The position, I believe, is planning board secretary.
And then the recording one needs a resolution for the recording part?
We don't have,
Recording.
how do we have a recording secretary?
Meaning the
Back in 2000, I don't know what it was, 21, we have passed, correct me, I think we passed a resolution that Kathy, we all voted on, that she was going to be our planning board recording secretary for 4 years. Am I correct, Kathy?
Yeah, it's planning board secretary. Remember Janet used to
Right.
record the meetings? So that's
Yeah.
in there.
Right, and
That's-
now it's all you, you're just
Together.
the secretary.
Yeah.
So we only use the-
And recording secretary.
Okay, so do you need two positions or just? the one?
It's all in one resolution.
It's all in one resolution.
Whatever works.
All right, so are we back to just covering it under resolutions?
Yes.
Or, okay. All right, so
It does need to be. like-
Voted on? Is there a motion
Secretary.
for it?
Resolution.
but I'm saying the resolution will be voted
Voted on.
Yes.
by all members.
Yes.
Very good.
All right, so back to resolutions. The first resolution that we have is for the planning board planner.
One and the same?
One the same, yeah. And I am going to read the actual resolution. And whereas the planning board is an autonomous statutory board that is coordinated under the Division of Planning and Zoning in the Department of Planning and Engineering, and whereas pursuant to the fair and open process rule, advertisements for proposals were published in the local source and posted on the Borough of Kenilworth's website. Proposals were received and reviewed for the following professional service for the year 2025. Planning Board Planner, whereas after review of said proposals, the Planning Board appoints Shamrock Enterprises LTD as Planning Board Planner for the year 2025 at a rate of $12,000 per annum and an hourly rate of $175 for any other matter directed by the Planning Board. Now therefore be it resolved by the Planning Board that the firm of Shamrock Enterprises LTD be and is hereby appointed to the position of Planning Board Planner for the year 2025 at a rate of $12,000 per annum and at an hourly rate of there's a conflict here. It says 165 here. Is it 175 or 165? 175. For any other matters directed by the Planning Board, be and same is hereby confirmed. Would someone like to make a motion for this resolution? Okay, Mr. Scuderi.
Accept the resolution.
And I need a second. All right, Mr. Scuderi made the motion, Mr. Clementi seconded it. Roll call.
Okay, Mr. Paserno?
Yes.
Mr. Savino?
Yes.
Scoriason first. Mr. David?
Yes.
Mr. Clementi?
Yes.
Mr. Pantina?
Yes.
Mr. Mazzio?
Yes.
Mr. Ladowdy?
Yes.
Mr. Scudery?
Yes.
Mr. Mr. DeLuca?
Yes.
Mr. Grimaldi?
Yes.
And Mr. Puglisi?
Yes. Thank you all for your continued confidence. Look forward to a great year.
Yep.
Thank you. Great working with all of you.
Alrighty, next up is Planning Board Attorney. I will go over the resolution again. Whereas the Planning Board is an autonomous statutory board that is coordinated under the Division of Planning and Zoning and the Department of Planning and Engineering, and whereas pursuant to the Fair and Open Process Rule, advertisements for proposals were published in the local source and were received and reviewed by the Planning Board for the following professional service for the year 2025. Planning Board Attorney. Now therefore be it resolved after review of said proposals, the Planning Board appoints Louis P. Rago as Planning Board Attorney for the year 2025 at a rate of $12,000 per annum and an hourly rate of $145 for litigation or any other matter directed by the Planning Board, be and the same is hereby confirmed. Do I have a motion on this resolution? Okay, Mr. Clementi, I see your hand go up first. Do I have a second? Second by Mr. DeLuca. Roll call.
Mr. Paterno?
Yes.
Mr. Scalise?
Yes.
Mr. David?
Yes.
Mr. Clementi?
Yes.
Mr. Pantina?
Yes.
Mr. Mazzio?
Yes.
Mr. Ladowdy?
Yes.
Mr. Scudery?
Yes.
Mr. DeLuca?
Yes.
Mr. Grimaldi?
Yes.
And Mr. Puglisi?
Thank you, one and all. Thank you.
That's what you got to say?
Shortest.
Got anybody skin of your teeth here.
It's the shortest comment from whoever.
Less is more.
Next item, Planning Board Engineer, and the resolution says, whereas the Planning Board is an autonomous statutory board that is coordinated under the Division of Planning and Zoning and the Department of Planning and Engineering, and whereas pursuant to the Fair and Open Public Process, advertisements for proposals were published in a local source and posted on the Borough of Kenilworth's website, and proposals were received and reviewed for the following professional service for the year 2025. It should say Planning Board Engineer. And whereas the firm Harbor Consultants, Inc. was responsive to the request for proposals due on November 15th, 2024 at 11 a.m. for the position of 2025 Planning Board Engineer, and whereas the firm Harbor Consultants, Inc. shall perform all services of Planning Board Engineer consistent with the response submitted by said firm, now therefore be it resolved by the Planning Board of the Borough of Kenilworth, County of Union, State of New Jersey, that the firm Harbor Consultants, Inc. be and is hereby appointed to the position of Planning Board Engineer effective January 1st, 2025 for a term set to expire December 31st, 2025 pursuant to a fair and open process under NJSA 19:44A-20.4 et sequitur, and that's it. Do I have a motion for Planning Board Engineer?
Mr. David, Mr. Pantina.
Oh, Mr. Pantina. Yes, thank you. Do I have a second? Second by Mr. Grimaldi. Roll call.
Mr. Paterno?
Yes.
Mr. Scalise?
Yes.
Mr. David?
Yes.
Mr. Clementi?
Yes.
Mr. Pantina?
Yes.
Mr. Mazzio?
Yes.
Mr. Ladowdy?
Yes.
Mr. Scudery?
Yes.
Mr. DeLuca?
Yes.
Mr. Grimaldi?
Yes.
And Mr. Puglisi?
Yes.
Thank you all. Looking forward to working with you all again.
Okay. Moving on to Planning Board Secretary. This one is really short and sweet. Be it hereby resolved that the Planning Board's appointment of Kathleen Machida as Planning Board Secretary and Recording Secretary for 4-year term expiring in 2028 being the same is hereby confirmed. Do I have a motion? Okay, made by Mr. Scudery, seconded by Mr. Puglisi. Roll call.
Mr. Paterno?
Yes. See how fast that was, guys?
Mr. David?
Yes.
Mr. Scalise?
Yes.
Mr. Clementi?
Yes.
Mr. Pantina?
Yes.
Mr. Mazzio?
Yes.
Mr. Ladowdy?
Yes.
Mr. Scudery?
Yes.
Mr. DeLuca?
Yes.
Mr. Grimaldi?
Yes.
And Mr. Puglisi?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. You're welcome. Last one, guys. This is for our videographer. Another short and sweet. Be it hereby resolved that Marco Antonio Studio, 401 Scott Mobus Place, Harrison, New Jersey, be contracted to videotape and edit Kenilworth Planning Board meetings for the year 2025 at a rate of $150 per hour, editing fee of $55 per meeting/event, not to exceed $5,000 for the year. Would someone like to make the motion? Mr. Clementi made the motion. Do I have a second? Second by Mr. Puglisi. Roll call.
Mr. Paserno?
Yes.
Mr. David?
Yes.
Mr. Scarice?
Yes.
Mr. Clementi?
Yes.
Mr. Pantina?
Yes.
Mr. Mazzio?
Yes.
Mr. Ladowdy?
Yes.
Mr. Scuderi?
Yes.
Mr. DeLuca?
Yes.
Mr. Grimaldi?
Yes.
And Mr. Puglisi?
Okay. Wonderful. I'd like to congratulate you all for coming aboard. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Is there a motion to approve the minutes for December 12th? I'll move. Moved by Mr. Mazzio, seconded by Mr. Scuderi. All in favor?
Aye.
Is there any comments for the good of the board?
I just want to make sure that we continue, like last year, at the beginning of the year, we kind of had a bunch of applicants, their attorneys not prepared. I mean, we cleaned up a lot of that. I just want to make sure that we continue to kind of like, make sure they're all prepared and the diagrams are all there, and we're prepared as a planning board also, so saves us just a bunch of time, I think.
I agree with you, Mr. Ladati. I think that one of the things that this board has stressed over the past couple of years, that if the applicants are not prepared, we understand that some things could be missed and they could be subject to comments later on, but if there's more than 2 or 3,
Exactly.
go back to the drawing board. We don't even want to hear you.
Right.
Get it right. We don't have time to play around. We all agree with that? Okay. Anyone else for comments? Yep. I have a comment. I have a couple. Number one, here we are in 2025, and one of the things that Lou Rago whispered in my ear a little while ago was that he was happy to see that Mr. Grimaldi was back on board with us, and I have to echo those words. Mr. Grimaldi brings a talent of architecture, and he knows the town. He's been here for a long time, and we welcome you aboard, Robert. I've known you for a long time, and I know you always have the town's interest in your heart, and welcome aboard. So we really appreciate you coming back. The other thing is, I want to recognize, pardon me, Council President Savino Scarice. He is Council President now, and he's going to be a great addition to our planning board. He brings a lot of his talent here. He had his... you may not know this, but I go to probably 90% of the council meetings, and I watch and listen to what everybody has to offer, and Mr. Scarice is always involved in every aspect of what's going on the council level. I am so happy that he's here at this point, so he can see what we do to bring back the council to understand, not that you don't understand already, I say that with complete respect, to understand what we go through to get it to the council level and to bring it back with a professional aspect of what we do. So congratulations, and thank you for coming aboard with us.
Thank you.
I also wanted to take 1 more minute or 2 more minutes and saying 2 things. I don't care what side of the fence we are on, independent, Republican or Democrat. You know, we just lost a president, Jimmy Carter, 100 years. And I have to say that he was laying in state, and we have to bow our heads to a great man. I don't care what your beliefs are. The man did a lot. We should recognize him. We should humble ourselves to some of the things that he's done. Whether you believe in everything that he's done or not, he's been around for a long time, and with his Habitat for Humanity should really resonate with all of us. To the people in New Orleans and California and things that are going on in our own states and what's happening, if we could just, or maybe not tonight, but just bow our heads when we go home tonight and say, thank God we're all here, and thank God we have good representation. So I just wanted to recognize that, okay? So that's really all I have.
Okay. Mr. Chairman, one more item, sorry to backtrack. We need to approve our 2025 meeting dates. That was...
Did I jump the gun?
You did. No worries.
That's what alcohol does. So is there a motion to approve the 2025 meeting minutes? Motion made by Mr. Scurries, I'm going to get this correct, and seconded by Mr. Scuderi. All in favor? Aye. Okay, so we already did the comments. Is any other comments for the good of the board? None? Okay.
At this time, I'll make a motion to open the meeting to the public.
Seeing none?
Second.
Okay, I'm sorry. All,
Second by Mr. Ladani. Yep.
okay. No one from the public?
Okay. Seeing no one, I'll make a motion to close the public portion of the meeting.
Second that.
Okay, we have a second. All in favor?
Aye. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Moved by Mr. David, seconded by Mr. Pantina. All in favor? Aye. Happy New Year, guys. 2025. Let's make it a good one. Good job. Good job, Mr. David.
Good job.